Hey there, folks. My name's Thomas Page, and a little while ago, I started talking to you about this next step in my transition after 14 years of being on testosterone, of possibly getting my chest surgery. So I wanted to update you on sort of what's going on and let you know the part of the process that I'm in and what's going on so that maybe if you or somebody that you know uh, would like to learn more about it, then we can talk about that. And maybe I can give you some information that would be helpful. So, last Thursday, I went to my first therapy session for my letter of recommendation for my surgery. And we had a couple of counselors there and a few trans guys there. It was all trans guys in the room, which was great because we got to talk about our own ideas and our own stories. And I'm not going to give you any details about the group or anything that was said in the group because that stays in the group. But I'm going to tell you that, part of what we talked about was what our personal goals were, and how we grew up and how we felt about our own transitions and the things that we've been grappling with, whether it be family or friends or support or not support, or how do we move ourselves from uh, not being identified as trans and then moving into the workplace and other parts of life. And I have to tell you that listening to all these folks talk was such a mind opening and almost mind blowing experience because after 14 years and knowing a lot of these folks have been on hormones a lot less time than I have, I've been able to experience and go through a lot of the things that they're experiencing right now and that they're talking about. So it's wonderful to go back to myself and remember what it was like when I first started. And I have to say, those were tougher times. Living in Los Angeles, California is a great benefit to any trans guy or trans woman who's trying to transition and be able to handle that and have support and also have it be taken care of by um, administrators in the state and in insurance companies and folks that actually care about it happening. It's a very new thing that's happened just in the past couple of years, but it started to be a successful thing. So it's a wonderful thing for me to look at and say, some of the work that I've been doing personally and that we've been doing as a community has really started to benefit folks. And so during this phase of the process, I'm going through a couple of group therapy sessions. After these group therapy sessions, our counselors will be able to determine whether they can give us a letter of recommendation or not for our surgeries. From that point, we have to work with whatever insurance that we have and figure out how that works with different doctors that are on different plans. And some doctors are more available, others are less available. It really depends a lot right now on how much money you have or what kind of insurance you have. So if you're like me and you have Medi-Cal, which is the state insurance for lower income people, then you have a couple of options. And then if you are on other insurance, uh, involved with other insurance companies, then you have different options. And then if you're paying out of pocket, it's a totally different story. So, what I want to let you know, if you're somebody who is like me, low income, and trying to figure out how to, do some of these things, there are options available to you. It's just that you have to find the right place and find the right advocates that are willing to work with you and help you through that process. Now, of course, I will tell you, as a trans guy who's been on hormones for a long time, that I would suggest always being on hormones for a while before you decide if you want to have any kind of surgery. And if you do decide that you want to have a certain kind of surgery, make sure that you really read up on it, pay attention to the things that may be beneficial or not beneficial to you, and then, you make your own decision. I realize that there are a lot of people who have family and friends who say, well, maybe you don't need a surgery or this or that, but it really is up to you. So just keep that into perspective. And Thursday is my second and last meeting with this group of folks. And I have to say that it's just been wonderful to get to know them. And I hope that actually out of this, I'm going to make some friends who are other trans guys who are going through sort of the same part of their transition, even though I've been going through my hormonal transition for a lot longer than they have. This part of it, we're kind of all in the same space, so we can work together and continue to build a community that supports one another. And I think it's really important that as trans guys, we reach out to one another and make sure that uh, we're all okay. And that we're working together to make the world a better place for the next generation. Some folks say, I don't want to really worry about the kids because I'm an older trans person and I'm still trying to go through the same type of thing. But really, it just depends on when you decide to make a transition and what you choose to do. And that is actually the level that you're at. It has nothing to do with your actual physical age. It has everything to do with the age of the man or woman that exists in your mind. So I hope that some of the things that we're doing here in this group will be helpful for everyone. And I'm very excited to be moving forward. And I just want to thank you very much for letting me share with you today. Thanks.